Hello, everyone, and welcome to the American Riichi Mahjong League. Today we have some B1 matches, and then we're going to be jumping over to A1. But this is Korak. I'm joined by Anthony. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, doing great. Glad to be back on the desk with you. We have some
Well,
exciting
doing.
tables, yeah. So
Yeah, we start off with what is mostly a promotion fight. Now, we did have a bunch of hiatuses in A2, I believe. So you'll see that the graphic on the right has been updated. There are a couple transparent promotion spots, and those are ones that will be promoted, but only if the people in those positions are in a positive score.
yeah,
So as you
and
can see, there are a whole lot of options, but it can change your play.
that's true. And we see that we have three of the players playing today in already in the promotion slots, but they do have to end up positive. So none of them are completely safe yet. They still have to play these games, make sure that they stay safe, don't go below 0 overall score, and they'll make it to A2.
Well, and you also have Aaron in that last position. Just had a really rough season. Even that score, I believe, was off 2 wins because it was sitting way down there with basically no shot. And now there is one, but it's still difficult to get in. And when you're playing against someone who has basically nothing to lose, it drastically changes the dynamics of the game.
Yeah. It really depends on how Aaron's going to play in this situation. I expect a lot of desperate moves, a lot of different push-pull decisions than your standard play. So we'll see how that affects the table.
Yeah, we've seen this in other leagues and other divisions where you're just sitting in that last place spot, and there's not oftentimes a reason to fold, but the action's about to start here. We start off with Haru as first dealer with a decent Pinfu Dora hand. Gonna be, I guess, Pinfu Dora Tanyao. I wonder if you call with this. The 4, 6, 8, 9 is kind of an ugly shape, but the rest of his hand's very good. On the right, we have Point, who is Alex, who has a Pinfu type hand as well, and a Dora, but the shapes aren't quite as good. You have a bunch of floaters across the way. That sure looks like an Itsu for Ennui. Just get the 3, 4, 7. Of course, when you're 3 tiles to an Itsu isn't always the best feeling, but that definitely seems like the hand's going to go. And on the left, it looks like a Tanya type hand. But you have that annoying Penchon 8 and 9 so to get rid of if you want to go that direction. Also, a very distant Toy Toy slash Onanko slash Suonko.
Yeah. I expect potentially Aaron may look for the Suanko already because of his placements in the standings. But we'll see how it turns out. It could still turn out to be Chitoy, of course,
Yeah,
already.
it would be Chito. I think I would have cut the 9
Chitoy
so
Isha. Yeah.
there on the chance that you do get Tempai. That way you add Tanya out of this Chitoy. But if you just decide you're going to all out on Suanko from East 1, then I can understand this. We'll see how this hand develops.
Now Haru hit Ishan 10 now. Potentially waiting on Saminchan, and right now Saminchan and Ryankan. Hopefully finishes the Ryankan first.
Well, gets another
No, and
Dora. That'll change your plans quickly.
ooh, yeah, this is an
This is
interesting
such
choice
an
here.
awkward choice. Yeah, I like the 4. You can have a little bit of acceptance, but you also have the Dora chance. I mean, if you redraw the 6, I might just go ahead and cut the 7. It's a bit unfortunate that the pair was locked in and then that happens.
Right. Yeah, this may end up being a bad weight, but you get the extra value
Interesting
here.
choice by Aaron on the left there. Oh, there's your
Oh,
backfire. This is the last 5, as we know. Interesting choice there by Aaron to keep the safe tune rather than go for the Sananko Tanya route. Just seems to be selling out on the Suanko here. Oh, and that's the problem with that Tazuki is some of the times you will draw the wrong side. So interesting question. If that 7 comes out, do you con and play for the hilarious Rinshan Dora? Because
that
that's
would
the only
be
Yakuza
very
I'm
interesting.
seeing.
Yeah, it's probably pretty tough. I think in his playing situation, you don't have to play.
Well,
Oh,
here we
here
go.
it is.
Let's see
We have
it.
a
Do
chance.
it.
Oh my
I'm going
God.
to be very disappointed if this is thrown
They
back.
oh oh
Boo.
they are in like
Oh,
a
Suanko
pretty good
Tempai.
promotion. There it is. Oh my God. Well,
Oh,
this
and there's the
isn't a
2, and
promotion.
it looks
It's
reasonably safe. Yeah, but you're
but
going to throw the 1 first of
yeah,
all. There's
no
what,
one
one
has
eight
reason to
mon
push
left?
here.
Yeah, 1 8 mon left.
Yeah, no one has reasons to push. Tumon just became safe. So Alex probably just gonna fold out here. There's still one 8-1 in the wall for Aaron, and I mean this is what he needs. He gets it. It's just
I
gonna
still
be.
want to rabbit hunt that wall, just see if that would have been the red shot to shut this down.
Oh, I think that's the last draw. Wait, one more draw?
I think you could call this but you would have to throw the door, which is safe because already thrown by Alex. So we'll see a dealer Tempai. Might even see a win on Hote here if the 4 or 7 comes out.
Oh, and Anwi was
No.
also able to hold Tempai. Oh, that was exciting first hand though.
Oh, so close to so much fun, and in the end, just a very standard draw. And they're gonna look in the logs and go, "Oh my god, what just happened?"
That's
But
what
that
we want to
gives
see.
that gives Haru another dealer turn. Has a possible Onitsu in Mon. May just go for a regular hand here, especially needing Dora on the right. Also looks like a possible Onitsu in Mon. Some decent floaters elsewhere, maybe an Itsu, maybe a Peiko, all sorts of options. Across the way, we have a Chun pair, so they can just call that and go, especially with 1300 in the middle, and the rest of these shapes leave a lot to be desired. And on the left, I'm not honestly seeing much. Like, you see the path to a regular hand, but you just have so many awkward floaters to work with.
Yeah, definitely. I like another door draw, for example, makes this hand a little bit better. But meanwhile, Alex on the right does have 2 Dora and with good shapes with the Honizu shapes, so definitely has a good path forward to Mongon here. Maybe
Haru
shutdown.
pairs up the Hatsu, and very likely it'll eventually come out from Alex, but it'll be held as long as possible. Oh,
Oh, and
well.
Ishan 10
Ooh,
technically.
that is Ishan 10, but you're very likely end up waiting on door. You'd love to draw the Tumon. That's the perfect draw here. Then you get the Itsu. Forget using the Hatsu as a Yaku. Just use it as your pair.
Yeah, it's actually kind of wide here. 2 Mon, 7 Mon, 1 Mon, Hatsu for Tempai.
Yeah, unless you draw the Dora, you're just going to end up waiting on Dora, almost no matter what you do here. When you have that penchant built in, it's just hard to use elsewhere.
We'll see if the Hatsu comes out of Alex's hand at some point here.
Well, I think it's going to get held as long as possible, but you're starting to wonder why hasn't it come out yet?
Yeah. And Anui now is
Especially when you're the person with one of them, you're going, wait, how is it? Well, there's our
there's
dealer
Tempai.
Tempai. Can wait on the Dora, and that is the standard play here. You don't really like it because Mon looked by far the most expensive suit out there. But it's Dora. It's never getting through it anyway. I'm just hitting the button and going.
There it is. One left in the wall that we can see.
Well, there's the pair up of the West there on the right for Alex. I think I would have pushed this a little bit more, but very suspicious of the live Chun and live Hatsu.
Yeah, in order to get to Tempai, you have to push both of them. It's a little bit tough. Meanwhile, Anui did hit Tempai. Now on for G-Toy.
Toy, yeah, waiting on the 4. There is only 0 left in the wall. Only 0. I like how that sounds.
Okay.
It's a nice way of saying it's dead.
They did have to push the danger 7 pin into the dealer reach, but
There's
did
the
pass.
last Dora draw on the right. And geez, you draw on that, and you're like, man, I should have pushed. Oh, this is just so sad to watch.
The hand's not completely dead yet. We'll have to see where it
Interesting
goes.
that Ennui broke Tempai. Did not want to throw the Suji 8, so just hard folding at this point. I think Tempai should have been kept.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Don't really
push
see
the
the
7
advantage,
pin,
yeah.
if you're gonna push the Musuji 7 pin, then 8-so is not that much more dangerous.
Well, especially with the 6-so having been thrown before the Ricci, the 8-so is such a rare thing to be waiting on. Oh, that is Tempai on the left if you dare take it. And doesn't.
Yeah, the only chance that they have is if they this is only 1,000 points or 1,500 points if they keep Tempai here. In the grand scheme of their points, they need a lot more than that.
That's not one of them, though.
Okay, two more one more draw
It's
left.
kind of the issue for Alex is what do you throw here? Everything looks bad on this board. Yeah, I agree with the Chun. It is live, but you have two of them. And yeah, you figured that was what was happening. Someone else probably had one of them and was in the same situation. But Haru gets another Tempai and nets 2,000 for that hand. Is rewarded with a much better hand here. Riichi, Pinfu, possible Tanyao, possibly Peiko or Sanshogu, all sorts of options here. And you see that 2,600 in the middle. You don't need the value, but you love it. On the right, looks like a Pinfu type hand, but bad shapes all over the place. Across the way, we're starting to see more pairs. You have to keep that Chitoi in your mind. Could also be any Peiko in Mon. On the left, that looks like by far the best hand here with 3 completed runs and all sorts of bear candidates.
Yes, I would put bets on Aaron's hand for sure. This one, but Haru has chances to open this hand, make the pin.
Well,
faster.
there's one of those pairs filled in. Now have a very wide Ishan 10. Oh, I don't like cutting
Ooh.
that 8, though. This is something I've seen Aaron do a few times in the league, is just keep this safe tile, but it's turn 4. And especially given where you are in the standings, keeping a safe tile doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So this definitely hurts their chances of, getting to Tempai, being the first one to Tempai here. Okay, but in the end,
Waiting
doesn't
on
matter.
that 2-5. And the 5 is now dead. Given that we just saw the third one in Haru's hand, and there's one on the right, so drawing to 2-2-so, unless someone throws it. We do see that 2-so kind of floating out in Alex's hand. The problem is the way that hand would normally progress would require the 5-so for it to come out, and we know that that's dead.
Right.
Ooh, now it's decision time. Do you really want to push this? I think I'd push at least the 8. Wow,
Ooh.
that is an aggressive push. Keeps the widest Ishan 10.
Wow, that is very bold
That's
here.
Tempai. Yep, there it is.
The call.
3-sided wait. Waiting on 5-8-4, except the 8 is dead. We know the 5 is dead. So drawing to 1-4.
Yeah. Looks like everyone is trying to fold as best as everyone else is trying to fold as best as possible here. So not many tiles are actually that safe to
Well, you also have the ability
either
to
of them.
change this weight, especially you've now pushed the 7. The 4 doesn't look that bad.
Yeah,
So if you
technically
draw a
not
3 or
confusing.
a 5. Oh, there's the 2-so. Riichi, Sumo, Pinfudora. No aura, but ends up over 8,000 when you get all those Riichi sticks and Homba back.
Very nice. We'll need a lot more points, but good start.
You have to do it in pieces, especially if it's not on your dealer turn. You need dealer Hanemon, but on the regular hands, something like that's perfectly fine. We have dealer here with a very nice hand, possibly Riichi Pinfu Tanyao Sanshogu with a 2-3-4. On the right, we see, well, an Anko of the 4-pin and not much else. Feels like you're kind of talling that for Tanyao. Well, that fills in nicely with that 4-6 getting the 5 mon. Across the way, a few pairs. Looks like Honitsu or Chitoi. I don't know which one, but I don't like either. With 2 Dora, though, you're just calling anything you can get, I think. And on the left, you see the Haku pair, maybe also a Honitsu there.
Yeah. Actually, Aaron did have a choice to calling the first one pin that came out. It would have been interesting. I don't know if it's still far away from completing the hand, but makes it so that your hand is open. Possible Honey too.
Dama headless waiting on that 2-mon, and there's no reason to be sitting on that 2-mon locking in. Well, this would be 4-10. You can't take that either. Just looking for something to make a better pair candidate here. Of course, you'd love the Dora. That 8 isn't much better.
This is like kind of unfortunate. There's so many paths to improvement for Tempai, but
Seeing
they'll get
Ishan
there
10 on the
eventually.
left now as the third Haku is
There it
drawn.
is.
Well, there's a 2-sided weight. It's a pretty bad when you only have 5 tiles left and 4 when you include the 2-pin that's already been discarded.
Okay, chooses the Dama. It's still no Yaku, but it is a little bit wider. Potentially looking for an even better Tempai shape. Oh,
Well,
and
there
gets
you go.
rewarded.
3-sided weight. Easy, Ricci. That'd be 4-10. Yeah, unless you have to notice that because you normally, hey, I like this 2-5-8 feels good, and then you see it ain't your discard. You go, oops. But here, not only you get the 3-sided weight, but you can accept another Dora.
Yep. No complete safe tiles for Ennui, but it's one so is probably the safest.
I
And they're
think
discards.
this is trending very poorly for Aaron because this is a hand that is going to need to be pushed, and I think you're going to end up dealing in here.
Just still, yeah, it's kind of tough, unfortunately.
You almost have to draw the 8 and the 7 back to back.
Yeah. Anything that connects to the Dora is potential.
That'll do it. And cut the
yeah,
1.
one pin.
Yeah, I don't have any
Six pin
problem
is
with
Dora,
that.
right? So
And there's already a 1 out, so you don't want to be waiting on it.
yeah, the only
And
problem
you
is
see
this
3
2
twos.
pin.
It is near the Okay,
well,
Suoko.
Suako, right? I mean, that is also an option here, and that does, that is their win condition here.
Oh well, it
but-
doesn't matter now. Sees all those 2s, see 3 4s in the hand, and says, well, it's just a 1 chance, but 1 chance is not safe, and Ennui deals in. Ricci Dora, no aura, though.
Yeah, it's a little tough, especially, the reach tile with the 2 pin makes the 3 pin a little bit more dangerous.
We have dealer here with a Pinfu type hand. You do have a bunch of awkward shapes in pin with 1 1 3 5 7 9. On the right, looks like a Pinfu as well. Maybe a 79 Sanshiku with some shifting across the way. Pretty standard Pinfu hand. Not seeing much value though. And on the left, that is a Honitsu. I am immediately cutting 1 2 mon and just selling out because that hand is helpless without it.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
I don't like even just cutting the 1 cut Haku. I'm keeping that. I don't see what the 1 2 does in this hand. Like maybe you can add any Peiko later, but it'd be Ricci Peiko bad way. You're so far off from that. Just going to play standard efficiency though. Dealer's starting to get close now.
Yeah, Alex just drew the Dora and filled in a Pinchon. Now has Itsu chances.
Ishanten, I believe. No, it's not quite. You have too many pairs here.
Not quite. Oh,
okay, well, I occasionally get accused of tunnel visioning on Sanshiku, but I think Haro managed to outdo me here, seeing a 1 2 3 and drawing right into it.
Well, Sanshiku is value here, and Honitsu. Well, no longer looks like a Honitsu hand after those draws.
So now dealer is Ishanten for Ricci Pinfu Itsudora.
Very scary indeed. Hopefully they draw into.
And that is not the tile you want.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. I'm just looking at Alex's hand as the hand to look out for here. Really big dealer hand. Definitely push them in comfortable lead.
Yeah. Locking in at least the shape. Still not be a guaranteed Itsu because you could draw the 7 pin, but you already see 2 of them in that hand, so it is unlikely.
Yeah, the 7 pin draw will be quite unfortunate, but the 2 pin draw that's what I'm looking for.
Well, now the 4's dead, so going to be very hard to finish this hand.
And this is Tenpai.
Yeah, I mean it's not a great one, Ricci Nomi, but it's a 1-4. There are 4 outs left visible, and we see 2 in hand, so only 2 in the wall.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is Ricci Nomi. Maybe you can hit Urasan, but that's probably the only hope you have for some value.
And Alex going to do at least some pushing here. Oh, and backfires immediately. The 8 is safe. The 9 would have looked pretty safe. So if you just play defensively, ironically, it would have worked out much better.
Yeah. Okay, but other than that, 7mon, everything else has been safe discards. Still maintaining the Ishanten, which is good. That's the ideal situation where you can only deal say Genbutsu and still.
Well, you're gonna see the hand and go, "Oh, that's where my 4 pin were."
Yeah, but you're still okay getting Pinfu Dora, especially when someone else is already in reach.
Yeah, also doesn't want to push this 5-mon. That seems to be one of the big choke points. And there's a 4, so I think we're drawing to the last 1-mon now.
Oh wow. The point is really holding out, even on like one draw left. He's still pushing Nakasuji. Now, I mean, 9-9.
The 9,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
You just play it safely here. And Aaron continues to get points, but not the scores oftentimes looking for. We've had 2 hands, one with Suanko Tempa, and the other with a very wide Suanko Ishanten, which is the kind of score you'd need. But first place, and you're kind of in that situation where a first place isn't good enough with 2 games to go and you're needing 100 points.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to play like that.
2 really big firsts.
But we have Ennui as dealer here, and I see a Dora and maybe a Pinfu. Shapes look a lot better now. You have the overlap in. So on the right, maybe a 1-2-3 Sanshoku. That's a long way off, though. The more I look at that hand, the more I don't like it. Yeah, when you're accepting a 6 floater, when you already have a 2-5 floater, that tells you the shape the hand's in. Across the way, a pair of East. So you can just call and maybe go with that, but the rest of the hand's cheap and bad shape, so probably not worth it. On the left, that is a Kokushi attempt.
Yeah, definitely heading towards Kokushi.
Maybe
I mean, it still
back
could turn
into
into
a
normal.
Honitsu. Yeah, Honitsu or maybe Chanta, or preferably both. And honestly, if the North comes out, I might just call for it and open, given what I've seen here. Chanta, Honitsu, Pei would be a Mongon. And it seems a lot closer than Kokushi. Yeah, and Will.
There it is. Yeah.
Also have Chitoid draws now with 3 pairs, which is admittedly bad on turn 5 for that Yaku, but it is something you are considering.
Yeah, it's a good transition from what they had in the beginning of the round. But
Great
Haru
draw
now has
there
it
for
really wide. Yeah.
great draw for Ennui. Cuts the 4 here. Has that Ryonkon 246-mon.
Okay, Tenpai here. Oh, wait, no, not Tenpai, but possibly improvement in value here for Haru on this 4-mon draw. Oh, decides not to take the
I
Pinfu
would
shape.
cut, if you're not going to cut the East, I feel you cut the 7 pin here, maybe, given that the 9 is close to dead.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. Okay, now we get the call for Honitsu, potentially Honitsu Chanta.
It's still so far off, though, but the rest of the table doesn't know that. Now they've seen 1 tile Honitsu overflow. Well, that's actually a great draw for Haru.
Okay.
Now you can just call the East in your Tempai. Like here, easy call. Especially with 1600 in the middle. I mean, it's.
Oh, doesn't
What?
take it.
No, that's just a mistake. Maybe misreading the hand. I think 7 pin is always the cut there. Always.
Yeah, 7 pin was not dangerous at all to anyone here. Okay, so gives Ennui some chances to, maintain the dealership.
Well, switches to the 6 pin weight. It is not a 6-9 weight.
Because they're all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see that 6 kind. Oh, that Chanta has made it now on the left. That is Honitsu, Chanta, Chun, Hatsu. And we see that 6 being used. So you can look at the hand and see, oh, there's the draw!
Okay.
Sumo!
Nice Mongon. Very nice.
I think that
from a
hand
really
is a
bad
textbook.
hand.
I think that hand is a textbook situation on how to play Kokushi, which is if it's there, fine. But if it's not and you see another path, take it every time.
Yeah,
Especially
very
if a
good
path to
display of
Mongon.
flexible play.
That is a very solid play.
Yes. And gets rewarded. That's the best part.
And Aaron has a Pinfu type hand, also a floating Dora on the right. All sorts of options. Maybe Honitsu you do with that Chun pair. So could go for a Chun, maybe Chun Dora later. But with nothing near the Dora seems unlikely. I'm definitely selling out Honitsu unless they're like 5 pin. Yeah, cut the one. Okay, keeping both options open, which is the way to play it from here. Cross the way, maybe 1-2-3 Sanshoku. And on the left, well, we're starting to see pairs. And maybe accepting Dora. Shapes are pretty bad, though.
One thing you know is that Aaron doesn't need to go for big hands anymore. Well, as dealer, it'd be nice to win a dealer manga and stuff. But this hand is amazing by itself, especially if you draw the Forso, fill in that Kanchan, or pair up the Dora. That would be the ideal draws here for Aaron. We're still seeing people improve their hands, and that's a great draw for Alex.
Hara on the right is definitely making that shift towards the Honitsu. Wanted to keep that Hatsu as long as possible. Well, with 2 out, there's no reason to keep it.
Making progress, and Anhui just hit Ishan 10 as well. So we'll see. There it is, Tenpai. Dominating on the 2-pin with no Yaku.
There's a Ricci for Ricci and potentially Dora. And if you smash the button, you'll deal in on Ipatsu with Dora. And this is one where I don't mind the push, again, specifically because of your situation. But instead goes ahead and throws the safe one, looking for more value here.
Yeah, especially since it wasn't Tenpai. It's still only Shanten, and this still gets you looking for value here, so I like that. And Alex breaking Tenpai as well, figuring that they had the worst weight.
I mean, Haro is kind of a decision point. Says, well, if I can't fold, I might as well push, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah, they are sitting at Ishanten, I believe.
Ishan for that Honitsu. Well, that Tenpai is kind of an ugly one, but I guess you just take it.
Yeah, this is a good way. Oh.
Oh, doesn't. Don't want to push the 9-mon.
Yeah. Well.
Well, that's why. The problem is now you're waiting on that last 7.
The Soul 7-mon. Yeah, this hand may be a little bit too slow to go for Honitsu here, but we'll see if it pays off. There's still 1 left in the wall. Or nope, just kidding. It's in Alex's or Aaron's hand, so fortunately won't find it.
Yeah, looking to pair something else up here.
There's still several draws left for
there you go.
Henri.
That's now a 2-sided weight. You just cut the 9 here. Yeah, waiting on 7-8 now.
Definitely an improvement.
And Sumo on the 8 would be extra foo.
Oh,
not that 8. Oh no, just pushes it immediately.
Dora.
I kind of like pushing the 8-mon there and just waiting Doritanki.
It's the same value. Well, yeah, it's the same value if you're waiting on Doritanki.
Yeah, it's the same value.
And 8-mon is safer. So.
Well, plus you have that wall with 3 6s in the hand. But they just deal in. We do have a Mungon, and now we move to South Round.
Yeah.
Hara has a bunch of pairs. Maybe an Ipeco, maybe Chitoi. Well, feels like Chitoi now. Chitoi, maybe Tanyao. On the right, you see the shapes, but there's no value, and the shapes are awful. I hate hands like that. Like, I can tell there's an obvious path to Tenpai, but I have to draw very specific tiles. 2-mon, 5-mon, 2-pin, 4-pin, 6-pin, 8-so. Kanchan Hell is what that hand is referred to as. Across the way, looks like a Pinfu, maybe Tanya if you cut that 1-mon pair. On left, you see a Haku pair and 3 Dora, so that's actually Ishanten, a very wide Ishan at that.
Yes, again, Aaron is getting really good, value hands. Just needs to be able to complete some of these to make progress. But Anhui is sitting Ishanten here. Not very good weight and no value, but might be able to shut down.
Now that you see a normal play from Haru, I think that Haku will come out.
Yeah, and I think it would be
like right here. I'm immediately just throwing it. It will be called. Yeah. Now the question is, which weight do you want? Do you want the 4-5 or do you want the 7-9-4? Is that 7-9-4?
Yeah. 7-5-9-4.
Tenpai here for dealer as well, waiting on 3-mon Tuso. Oh,
that is unfortunate.
that is so
Yeah.
unfortunate. A Tanya will end it all, and I guarantee you're saying, "Yeah, that's how my season's gone."
Yeah, it's like so many good value hands that just keep ending. Fortunate.
We have South 1-1 here. Dealer has another Conchon Hell type hand. You'd have the Onko of 5 Mon, though. On the right, we have Alex with a Pinfu type hand. Across the way, seeing more pairs. Those shapes aren't great, but maybe you can turn it regular. And on the left, it looks like an Itsu Honitsu Haku type hand, especially now. Maybe even keep it closed.
Yeah, again, really good draws. A lot of value to be seen here. Oh, and draws a Dora, so could
Ooh, keeps the Dora. There's more value in staying Honitsu. I'd have just thrown the 2 back.
Yeah, it really depends on what we complete here. I mean, this is
We'll
still
keep this closed if at all possible. I like the 2 pair candidates, but the reason the West was cut is we see 2 of them dead already. So that makes sense. Now, this
here's the
3 kind
option.
of is awkward because the 2 Sos are close to dead. I might have even thrown that one back.
So now we have Bichon 10 for Haru. Pretty good weights here. Probably not gonna improve. No Dora here, but as dealer, you're just gonna win your hand. I'd probably take the 1 pin 7 so weight.
Tempai on the right, but no Yaku and doesn't like the 7-8 weight. Can't blame that decision at all. And that's Tempai for the dealer where we see Arichi here. This is another ugly weight. If you're going to do it, I think you take the 8 so Ricci, but the Dama's fine here, especially given the upgrade to Itsu Dora. There's a 7. We said it cannot win. Ooh, and there's our
there's
Tempai.
Tempai.
You can Dora, Tonki, or you can take the
369.
3-sided weight where the 3 is where the 3 is Itsu. So it is Ricci, Honitsu, Haku confirmed, and 3 so would be Itsu as well.
Oh. Well, they wouldn't have drawn that anyways, but yeah, just.
Oh, and there's a big Tempai on the right. If you cut the 5, you can just. Also takes that way. This will be Ricci Nomi.
Wider. 258. I mean, save to the other deal.
2, and there's the Ipatsu. Ricci Ipatsu Dora. No Aura, but that's a nice little pickup there for Alex.
Oh, okay. Haru is getting a little bit in the danger zone here. They're only a plus 24 overall score, and this is starting to send them in the wrong direction.
Well, Alex here has the kind of hand where you just look at it and go, I know which way this hand goes, and I don't like it. Because it wants to be 79 Sanshuku, but you have 2 Dora, and you can't really use the other one unless you pair it up. On the right, we see a few pairs, but the shapes aren't great. I think now you're honestly just kind of thinking Chichoy, because even the 4-5-6 Sanshuku seems a long way off. Across the way, we see a possibly Peiko and lower pin, maybe a Chitoy as well on the left. I don't like anything in that hand at all, other than maybe the 7-8-8. Now it's also pairs. You're thinking, I guess, Chitoy, but that's one where I don't even mind. If you weren't in 4th, I'd honestly be fine just folding from turn 1, but you have to try and make something out of it. You've lost your last dealer turn.
That's true. Alex's hand now has Itsu chances as well. They draw the 6 Mon first.
Well, it doesn't even matter. You just take the Ricci Dora 2 if it comes. Or even a Peiko. I just like cutting the 9 pin here.
Yeah,
because if we draw the 7, are we going to use it? I don't think so. Yeah, and so it does it the next turn. I think if you're going to do that, you keep the 1 around.
Meanwhile, Aaron with another potential Suanko hand. Just keep.
Everyone else is getting Toitsu hands, pairs, and occasionally sets all over the place. And yeah, as mentioned on the left, I said if there's a path, it's Chitoy, and it sure looks that way. Or it's Ishanten for what would be Riichi Chitoi, but you kind of want to keep a better pair candidate than a 6, a 4, or a 7. Could even call for Toy. Oh, there's Tempai. The 7 is one cut, and I don't really like this weight. I think I'm cutting the 6 and Gamaing. If the 7 comes out, I will pass.
They're both one out. Okay, decides to just go with this weight for now. I think it's okay. It's still a little bit hard to improve, and they do need points.
Yeah, there is one left at this point.
Yeah, I could definitely see point pushing against this.
Yeah, and the 5 wouldn't be a better weight.
So how's Aaron gonna play this? Still,
I mean, I think Aaron is in a position where there is never a reason to fold. Especially if you have a... Oh, see, I'd love to be waiting on this Hellweight Haku. That's the type of weight I want with Chitoi. Oh, there's another 7.
Oh, and it might come out.
It might come out if we see Tempai here.
Yeah.
Of course, alternatively, we could see dealer draw a third Dora, and then all of a sudden you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I just don't know if Alex has incentive to push here,
We could
given
go
that they're first
Chitoi.
right now.
Yeah, seeing the Chitoi path, regretting the 9 last turn, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I which really regret. There's no other safe tiles besides the 9 on there. And again, they don't really have an incentive to push in your situation.
Open. The one was, I guess the one was safe.
Yeah,
But you're
team up
keeping
from
the
there.
options open for now. Honestly, everything kind of looks bad. You have those 2 3-mon to get to safety. And when you're sitting in first place, especially with where Alex is in the standing. Oh, there you
no.
go. Oh, yeah.
Ishanten here. But
I
again,
just cut the 8-mon. I'd push. Okay, he's just going to fold.
yeah, like I said, yeah, Alex doesn't have an incentive to push this.
Oh, there's our Khan, and there's that Haku. Oh! And he could see another Khan, but I don't think we do. Okay, well, there's our Khan.
This gives Haru the high tile.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the Khan.
Yeah.
We know it doesn't matter because the weight's dead, but I think giving the Riichi 3 Dora indicators the last draw is just asking for trouble.
Yeah, especially if you're the dealer, you don't want to be paying the sumo payments.
And we have Onwe here with a lot of options here. You could go Itsu, you could go Honitsu, you could go regular Tanyo hand if you've got that 9, so all sorts of options. Great starting hand. On the right, that is a made-to-order Riichi Pinfu Sanshoku with a 2-3-4. Across the way, Haku pair. And maybe a distant Itsu in So. And on the left, looks like a standard Pinfu hand.
Yeah, people's hands look quite standard and quite nice. Here, maybe we'll see the call here, or decides to pass because they have no value.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're sitting in 4th place and not really within contention for 3rd. You have to try and make something. Really needed to win that hand.
Yeah, the previous hand was an option. So now Aaron has to give those Sanshoku chances here, but takes
Sadness.
the wider Ishanten.
That's an easy cheat. I would not even take a second to call this.
Okay. Technically has guaranteed Yaku. Actually, well, that's not true.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, you could end up on the wrong side of the 4, 5, 6.
That is not true. But they have all the tiles they need. I just need to they might need to finagle a little bit. Oh, okay. Decides not to go for.
Well, especially if I already got one of the Wests and another one already being gone. It's not even that much faster, but it would be a much safer play. On the left, though, we have Tempai for Tanyao only, waiting on 3-mon, but 2 of them are out. And there's our Tempai on the left, Riichi Pinfu Dora on 6-9. But we see a bunch of them out, and there's another one.
Oh.
But it might get pushed here, especially waiting on Gimbutsu 3-mon. And it is.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that at all. I think that's a standard play. It's unfortunate to draw it, but you're still in a fine position.
I think in the end of the season here, you should probably just play to stay positive. Like you're in clear first. It's okay if you don't play EV in South 3. You can just play
3-mon
play a
warrant a
different
Gimbutsu weight, then folding there is fine. But I don't think you have enough tiles to fold, and that's always something you have to consider. The only unfortunate thing is the Ipatsu there. But we move to all last, and Aaron is in first place and needs a dealer run. As we say, 2 first is not going to be good enough to get out of demotion. So you may have been thinking push fold is fairly normal. I think I would have been much more aggressive and dealt in as a result a couple times. But now there's no debate. You just push.
How much is plus 50 to get plus 50 overall with the UMA? How
Let's
many
see,
points
this
do you
would
need?
be plus 12 and plus 15. That's plus 27. No, that puts you at minus. If you ended with this score, you'd be at like minus 116 or I guess minus 113. So, no, you need a lot more. Again,
Yeah.
if you had 4 games left, then maybe, but you have 1 after this. 1.
So you need 35 above. So you need to hit like 70k points
Yeah.
probably
That's
in
if
2
you don't
games.
win, you say I went down fighting and fought the good fight, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
if you fold your way to demotion, nothing hurts as much as that.
Yeah, so 70k for just the plus 50. They need 2 of those in order to make it. But okay, so if they keep this dealership, they'll be great for now. But we'll see. Haru is already Ishan 10, I think.
On 10, but likely
Potentially.
Richinomi also has that floating Dora. Across the way, doesn't keep the pair there. I definitely would have kept the pair. I'd have cut 5-mon and kept the Itsu option open. On the left, though, we see 2 Dora just trying to make some sort of Yaku or workable hand, and the tile they're saying no. They're like, yes, I got 2 Dora. This is a great starting hand. And then you look at those discards and go, now I'm sad.
Yeah, they still have. Yeah, if only they knew which tiles they were going to pair up. But still got 4 pairs here. Still could win the scene. Nope,
And
and
even
another
throws,
backfire.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, the
Well, here's
9 was, there
Tenpai.
was only one of those left. And
Okay, rejects the
going for
Tenpai with
more
the back
greed.
weight.
So
It's
if
the
you
last
don't make it to
row.
Tempai, though, this is an absolute disaster. But you can get
Yeah.
more value this way. I'm
Okay.
reaching this every time. You also have potentially Peiko, but that'd be a hell weight. So you know what? Forget it. I'm taking the hell weight.
Yeah, no one else's hand seems like they're Tenpai yet.
Okay,
Skeptical.
takes the
Oh,
Tanya. Oh, interesting. I like this. Is not a bad play either. Ricci Tanyao says the 6-9 is probably dead, so I'll wait on the 5-pin and 7-mon. And the 7-mon has one left. The 5 has one left. So this could finish. I like this weight a lot better. I think I'd still take the hell weight just for the value, but the chances of no one needing a 6-pin are so low. I'm just looking at Haru's discards and going, you are probably sitting in a garbage cheat toy, and you just can't pair that last thing up.
yeah.
Because that is what? 13 straight Sumagiri? 14? And it's just tragic when you get a hand like that. You're like, yes, we're close to Tempai, and doesn't matter.
Yeah, and they had good weights too, so it wasn't like just Kanchan hell. Okay, so Aaron able to maintain dealership, gets another chance.
Nets 2,000 from it. Has the very clean 444 score. Has a hand that looks like, I think you're just going Tanya with this. The shapes are bad, but if you can call, you can fix some of that problem. On the right, it looks like a Pinfu type hand as well. You have Flindora across the way. We're seeing some pairs, maybe Honitsu and Chitoi, maybe Honitsu Chitoi Toy, or Honitsu Toy Toy. And I think that's going to be the play here, is Honitsu and see if we can add something to it. On the left, yuck. There is no redeeming value in that hand other than accepting Dora.
Yeah, I would just probably. Oh well, that's a good draw. Improving their weights, potentially getting rid of some of these penchants will be very nice. Meanwhile, we have Alex going for Honitsu here. Possibly Totoi.
I'd immediately cheat that 8-pin. This hand is so bad. Because now you need 2 5s, really.
I think maintaining here is okay. There's still like 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku chances if you want value.
I see an open hand and I know I'm behind.
You mean behind in tempo here?
Yes. Again, I feel as another you have to win this hand.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on how you read how fast everyone's hands are. But the only person that's looking fast is Alex. There.
Okay, well, may end up making a lot more value out of this than I was expecting. Also could end up 4-10. And there you go. There is our Tempai, and this may deal in. Okay, does fold properly. Keeping the Toy option could deal in next turn.
Ooh. That's an unfortunate draw.
It's cutting the 3-pin.
Yeah, push here. Well, white is a 7, so
The 3-pin I don't like sitting around in this hand because of that 1-pin discard earlier. I don't want, if I have to face off against this, to take a 40-10 weight.
that's also true. Okay, 3 so safe.
3 safe.
All right, we're just basically waiting for potentially the inevitable, where one of Alex or Aaron deal in. And they'll put they'll make Haru happy, picking up some points that you lost earlier in the round.
There's Tempai. Richinomi, but we'll deal in.
Each.
Yeah, no, you have to take them. If you deal in, you deal in.
Okay, reach, Pinfu, and Ura. Oh, one Ura.
It's kind of rough, but no, I don't see anything wrong with that. And the end result will be Aaron picking up 25.2. In second place, Alex with an 8.2. Not necessarily safe, but with one game left, looking pretty safe.
Yeah.
Ennui takes a minus 9.8 hit and drops to where a fourth in this next game could cause some serious problems. And Haru takes a big fourth. It'd be right around that plus minus 0 and out of promotion.
Yeah, that last hand was actually really important for Haru. Now at least they know they're above plus 0. So second place to first place is basically that's what they're aiming for. They don't need to do any more calculations on that.
I guess question came up: are we going to stick with the B1? I think the last game of the session we should go ahead and stay with, because the A1 games are the first 2 of their 4.
Yeah, this is very important for the landscape of B1. I believe once these scores come in, these will be the final scores, or the first final scores of B1, and all the other players will probably be looking at these scores, seeing where where they will need to end up in order to get promotion or demotion. Very close. It does look like Haru is out of the top 11 spots, though, so they do still have to make up some points.
Yep, that's what I had suspected, or just hope that Philip or Peter drop afterwards and not caught by Garrick or Luke. Or Ada, for that matter.
Yeah. Don't have the matchups pulled up for B1, but potentially there some of those players will be vying for the same spots because of the matchups and the way the seeding works.
But yeah, for Alex, you're feeling good here. Even a fourth doesn't really affect you unless it's like a minus 60.
Yeah.
If you're Ennui, you're like, yeah,
Just
avoid
stay,
fourth.
hold,
I don't want to. I just don't want to take a big fourth and things are fine. But I'm probably good. If you're Haru, you need second. You have to get at least second in this match. But you also don't want to get near that demotion zone because it is entirely possible with another fourth you're sitting at minus 40, and I would fully expect someone to jump up, especially Sarah is a very volatile player and could easily jump up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely true. It's always easy to forget that you're on the cusp of both promotion and demotion at some points, especially with the point spread like they are right now.
Right. Aaron had a couple chances for the Yakuman, including that Tempai. Couldn't get it together, but I think played that game very well. I disagree with a couple decisions here and there, but when you're in that type of hole, you have to be willing to go for it.
Right. Yeah, so I think the main people we're looking at are going to be Tucker and Haru. See how they
Tucker and
hold up.
Haru, yep.
And again, Aaron's going to have to push even harder. This Hancha.
Well,
This
and
is
this is
the last.
another one where you might, especially if you lose your first dealer turn in South round, which will be South 3 and South 4. If you do not have a big lead, you may just go Yakuman Shibori and say, if I don't get a Yakuman, I'm not winning the hand.
Right.
It doesn't matter if I start from 3, I'm going Kokushi or Suanko with this.
Right. Their second dealer. So once their second dealership passes, well, they know they only have 2 more hands left.
Yeah, and that's something the rest of the table should be factoring in, even if they're not paying that close attention to it.
Right. It's like if you
Just
deal into
don't
Aaron,
expect
it's going
get
to
help.
be
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Well, alternatively, don't expect help. If you're folding against a Ricci, you only have one other person that might consider it.
Right. Exactly. So good to be the first one to reach in those situations. And it's actually not too bad if you're fully folding because then you know you're not going to lose any points. Okay, depends on where you are in the situation. But if you're like in second place, for example, you know that you're going to hold like Tucker's in second place, has positive overall score. They can just like coast and just let Aaron deal in, for example. It should be starting up anytime now.
Yeah, it says 10:03. It is 10:03. Well, 9:03 here, but we're off by 13 hours, so. And dealer, we have an initial disconnect. We'll see if that's an actual disconnect. If it is, I imagine they'll restart the game. And you see Tucker here waiting to make that first discard. That is, unless it's our end, we're disconnected. Okay, there it is.
Okay, reconnected.
Good
Pretty good.
sportsmanship there by Anwei. And you see that Haku pair, like, I'd love to go Daisango with this, but it seems like a bit much. Now, if I have that hand and I'm Aaron, you better believe we're going Daisango. On the right, it looks kind of like a Chanta type hand. The shapes are pretty bad. Maybe a Pinfu. You do have a Dora. Across the way, looks like a Pinfu, Tanya, Dora, maybe a 1-2-3 Sanshoku. On the left, that looks like the Kokushi attempt. But I think you just go Honitsu with the shapes. Honitsu, Chanta. You also have a Dora if you don't want the Honitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very curious to see what Aaron was going to do with his initial starting hand. He just had 8 terminal tiles, not the fast to get to Kokushi. And Chanta's not going to do much for your hand. It's not like you can call for Chanta and expect to make up all the points that you're missing. But
Yishan 10 for Anwei, looking for a head candidate.
yeah, potentially waiting on that Hatsu.
We see the tune called on the left. Keeping the now I think it's just Honitsu. I think you just cut the Dora or the Haku here. Okay, well, there's our Tempai for dealer. Ricci Haku waiting on 360. Sumo would be extra Fu because you have to remember that Hatsu pair does count as Fu. So this is the always fun 2 Han 40 Fu Roan or 3 Han 40 Fu Sumo.
Here's the dealing tile.
And you do have that Dora kind of squeezed. So I think Alec is just kind of stuck here. It's going to be very hard to fold this out.
Okay.
There's Tempai on the right. Would be Ricci Dora. I'm smashing the button. And I don't like overthinking things. That's something I say over and over. Is if I have the choice between do I have to make a decision every turn or do I not? I'm just going to say hit the button and move.
Okay, and now Haru is actually Ishan 10 for Itsu, Pingfu, as Dora, potentially Dora. So,
These weights, but the 3-6 is looking pretty dead. There are 3 3s and 3 6s. So 2 outs left, and the 5 so is what? 1 left? 2 left.
yeah, so
Yeah,
we'll
2
worry.
versus 2.
Yeah, this is very intense. We'll have to see. Yeah,
Good chi for Tempai. Just throw the 3-mon, which is safe against the dealer, and will wait in the Genbutsu 1 so, which would come out right here. But you also have Tempai on the left. Oh, it does take the 1 so. It deals
Yeah.
into the 2,000 point hand, and I guarantee you, Alec is not very sad about that one.
Yeah, good call by Haru. Able to maintain Tempai or Ishan 10 for so long without dealing too many dangerous tiles.
Neil has a Pinfu type hand. On the right, we see a pair of Easts and decent shapes elsewhere. Great shape in So. Across the way, what, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 Sanchiku? Going to be hard to pull much of anything again. Maybe some shifts to Junchan. And on the left, you have a Hatsu pair, but the third one is door indicators. There's only 1 left in the wall. I guess you could go 4, 5, 6 Sanchiku. You're definitely going 4, 5, 6 Sanchiku now. You've cut your 2 here. You've locked in the shapes. Of course, if you draw the 7-mon instead, then you're a little sad. But I might even throw it back.
Yeah. Could try to make it sneaky, the 5-mon wait. By just going the 8-mon right away. I would consider it, because you're not very happy with the 7-mon draw anyways.
We have, if you cut the 3 here, it'd be headless Ishant. Instead, cuts the 6. That's the awkward 2, 3, 3, 4, 6 so shape now.
I also want that 5 so. We'll make them into Tempai for Pingfu. But otherwise that shape is not very good.
Well, there's your 8. That's actually a great draw. You cut the 1 here. Now you can even pull in the Hatsu. Could even pull in the 8 and go for the Sanchiku Nomi, but I can certainly understand passing that.
Yeah, Sanjiku Nomi is just 1,000 points.
Very sad. It's just a sad hand to get.
Yeah. Okay, Haru called with ease here. Still Ishan 10. Does have this headless Ishan 10. Quite wide. Just looking for any of the Sozu to call. 1-4. Most likely. Okay, here. Okay, locking in Sanchoku.
Especially with the 3 basically dead now, it makes sense. We see a Dama with no Yaku waiting on that 5 so.
Yeah, this was the unfortunate
Oh,
Tempai.
Dora, that is a live Dora being pushed. Very uncharacteristic of Ennui. And as a result, he doesn't, okay, well, if it's safe and no one calls it, I'll smash the button. Forget this.
Yeah. Ennui basically cleared it up for for Aaron. Aaron's like, all right, there's no one waiting on Dora.
Yeah, now it comes right back out. And I guarantee you, Ennui, after that reach, he said, oops, or something along those lines.
And it's okay. They still have Ishanten here. Probably not looking to push against Steeler in their situation.
I'd have cut the 2 Hatsu here. You still have a path to the Sanchoku, but there's another 5, so just 1 left on the wall here. Yeah, if you're gonna cut the Hatsu, I'm definitely keeping that 4-6.
Hatsu was only 1 scene, but has to break Tempai.
And that's the type of hand where if you're Haru, I think any tile gets Tempai. In So, let's see, 2 does, 3 does. Yeah, every single tile in So will make you Tempai.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There you go. There you go. You can even go. You can even cut the 7 if you
258,
want.
147.
Oh no, you
I think.
can't. You would, yeah.
Oh, whoa! There was the 5
Whoa.
so out.
Okay, that's bold. Deals into Riichi Nomi.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
luckily it
had
was
to take
cheap.
another look at that to be able to tell what the right discard was, but I don't think it was the
Yeah.
5.
Well, 2 so was
Regardless,
cut,
though,
7 so was cut. But
yeah.
even so,
Right, so
yeah,
we see a pass of the tune already. I think I'd have called that with a door in the hand. The rest of the
Boom.
shapes are terrible, though, and there's the second one. We'll take that. Dealer has what looks like a Rishinomi type hand with an Unko of South Wind and East 2 as East. Never what you want to see. On the right, that looks like a Pinfu type hand. You'd love the 1, 2, 3 Sanjiku shift, but it's not going to happen. You draw the 5 most likely. Across the way, there's the second Dora draw, so that's very much a call and go hand now. On the left, we see Kanchan Hell, basically. You need 2 8s. Or, well, that, okay. Now all of a sudden this hand goes from nearly helpless to,
I mean, yeah, Yushan 10. I mean,
G.
the 5 months Shampoo is not bad at all. You want to take it?
it kind of is just with a 3-mon Dora. Dora indicator, but there are far worse situations. An interesting choice here by Aaron is you could just say, forget it, go Suanko, but you do see 2 people, or you see an open call twice.
Yeah,
There is Tempai on the right for Riichi waiting on
Ichi.
Dora.
Wow. Okay, Alex with the two Doras in their hand. Probably never
Yeah,
throwing those
you're
out.
just going to be pushing. I think you just push anyway. Especially if that 1 comes. But we know it can't because it's locked into the hand and the other one's been discarded. But from that perspective, you're at least thinking about it. A decision point from Aaron. Okay, just decides to hard fold. Could have pushed the 7 Mon for the whitest Ishan 10, but that also is Dora Suji.
Yeah, I mean, still, I mean, didn't have to break up their hand completely. So potentially could wash
If
either
you were to
way.
do that, the 9 so is a better play.
Yeah, potentially don't have to find a new block, but this, yeah. Hard to say right now with the play's going quite fast,
G.
but there's still some paths. And yeah, we see Aaron trying to Mawashi into at least Ryokoku.
The 1 so may be a good discard here. I think I cut 1 so. Even with the 3 so Riichi, yeah, and that's what's going to happen. I'm really looking for that third Dora with that shape, but I like greedy plays.
Okay.
The 3 Suji, the 2 Suji.
Yeah, this is getting quite tense. Still haven't seen the other two Dora after all this time. Hard still has good chances.
That I say the 2 is Suji, but you would have to notice there was a 5 that was discarded and called. Oh, there's the Dora!
Oh, there it is.
Riichi, Sumo Dora. No aura, but that's a type of hand that Haru needs because you just want to get. You'd love a first here, but at minimum you need to stay above 0.
Yeah, that's a very good
Oh
job.
my goodness! Look at those shapes. You have 2 Dora, maybe Chitoi, maybe Honitsu, Toy, Haku Dora 3.
So many options.
And even the most boring option is your
Oh, here's
Haku
decision
Dora
point
3. Yeah,
one.
I like this. You just go for it. And similarly, everyone else goes, what the heck? But in the
Tenpai.
meantime, we already have Tempai waiting on Tuso. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh. Yes. Okay, are we
And
calling the
Ennui is suspicious. Ennui's going, wait a second. But yeah, a little bit of a backfire there. I would have cut the 6 spawn the last turn just because I like the 6-8
Jeez.
shape. And that is why. But now we see 2 calls, and Alex says, well, if you would like to fight amongst yourselves, I would like to intervene and say, Ricci.
Yeah. Yeah, not only just breaking up. There's only been 3 tiles discarded by Alex, so
And especially, I know Ennui is panicked. Because you have this low door in your hand, you're kind of casual. Sorry. Then you have a Sumagiri a turn to Ricci, and yuck.
it goes for the 2-pin because it's Gambutsu. Probably have to push the 3-pin. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if this hockey's ever coming out of Ennui's hand.
No, I don't see any reason it ever would.
Yeah,
The
there's
engine
no
question
reason to
here
push.
is, do you con?
for Haru, right?
Con! I do it right here for the Rinshan chance.
Yeah,
You
you
have a
have
Yaku
to.
otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no Yaku. So they could, and they're looking to pair up the 2-so or the 3-so for Yaku. Or I mean,
So they don't know.
oh,
Oh no! I think the 2 comes out. I think it has to.
Oh,
Wow!
what a dodge!
Wow!
Oh my god!
I think the other reason that happened is there are 2 of those out.
Yeah, it might
Oh,
switch
and
here.
that
Oh no. No,
and not
okay.
punished for the aura and the for the con in any way, shape, or form. And I was like, okay, 32, I can deal with that.
Oh wow, that was exciting. Yeah, good eye. Alex just sneaking in fourth turn, well third turn Tempai, and then after the calling reach on the 2-so.
And the 2-so looked reasonably safe there. I have no problem with that push. Yeah, you have to go all out on that con. You don't have a Yaku. You think there's a very good chance the Haku are being squeezed, and one of them was. And you have a chance for Rinshan Dora too there, so with tons of food. That might have been Mongon even as is. And we haven't even gotten to this hand. We already have a Tempai. And this June looks very likely to come out from Haru at any time. We just see a Dora just thrown right back.
Yeah, exactly. I expect this hand to last approximately. Oh, actually, Haru might be able to look for Honitsu here, so that Chun might stick in her hand for a little bit longer.
Especially cutting the 8. I'd always be cutting the 7 mon there. Just keeping the options open for a cheap hand here.
Okay. Well, yeah, now that this hand might last a little bit longer than one, we have Ennui, Dijon 10, or waiting with 3-so, 6-so to complete.
Draw with that
Tempai.
3 coming into that hand.
Oh, yeah.
Could end up waiting on Chun Tonki here if the 5 or 8 comes out.
Okay. So, looking at probably a G-Toy hand. Okay. Oh no! We see a disconnect. Potential disconnect on Aaron's side. We'll see if the players probably slowing down the game a little bit to see if Aaron can connect in time.
It is back.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, the hand wasn't going to be great, but they still had chances for Chitoy.
Well, their Senpai could wait on the Chun or the pay.
Wrong.
Deals the wrong one and will deal in for that 1500. I do support taking the pay Tonki though. Pay Tonki, best Tonki.
Yeah, and it was one cut, so it's a better weight overall. Just so happens that Alex was able to call for Tempai first row really quickly. So
Dealer has a Ricci Pinfu Dora type hand. Really want that 4-so. Immediately fixes this hand. Now has a second Dora, so there are a lot of directions this hand could go. On the right, that looks like what do you do with that 666 789 pin? I guess maybe pray for a 678 Sanshoku shift. Crossway looks like an Ipeco in pin, maybe Chitoy. And on the left looks like a Tanyao type hand. Trying to think of anything else from it. I'm not really seeing much. An absolute meme would be the Sunshu Doko, but that seems a bit off, especially with dealer having two of them.
But you'll take a Tanya Dora, especially if you can keep it closed.
Dealer says, okay, well, we'll just call here. I don't think that actually speeds the hand up. The only reason you make that call is you just decide you're never ever throwing that tomb on.
Yeah, they wanted to incorporate the Dora here, but
I
it
don't
might
like
actually
that
be.
call. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think you slowed the hand down significantly,
Yeah.
especially with the 7-8 in the hand. Now, if you draw the 9, the hand's effectively dead, and your 2 Dora turned into 0 Dora.
Yeah. Yes, but the night.
Well, there we
hopefully they don't
go.
come back.
Tempai on the left, Ricci, Tanyao, Dora. Oh, and the sneaky little two-way for the Suji the Ricci tile. That is not the reason Suji the Ricci tile is normally dangerous.
Oh,
Tempai on the right
Tempai.
as well. No
Good way,
value,
Tempai.
though.
Good way, Tempai. Only press the push. Half Suji.
Damas, I don't like that at all. I think your
It's not
two
even
choices
Tempai
here
here.
are... Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. 7-mon didn't seem that much safer than 6-mon. So.
No, if you're... I think there are two plays there. One is you take your Ricci, and the other is cut 9-pin. And just sell out on 6, 7, 8 Sanshku. But we do have the win on the left. Ricci, Sumo, Tanya, Dora. No Aura, but it is Mongon either way, and Haru is getting the wins that are needed. In first place, we head to South Round.
All right, everyone's last dealership coming around.
Dealer has a run in Mon and not much else. The 3-pin or 7-pin might make this hand better, but it's just a whole bunch of floaters. On the right, we see Haku pair. Oh, another disconnect. Aaron has had a bunch of disconnects. You just hope he doesn't get the 3 strikes and you're out rule on 10 Ho. But I think this is number 3, so he needs to be very careful. Across the way, it looks like a Pinfu type hand. The shapes are pretty bad, though. On the left, that looks like a much better hand. The 6-0 or 4-mon would really help, though.
Yeah, I was actually in a situation where I was disconnecting a lot, and it's not a very fun experience for anyone on the table, unfortunately. Luckily, yeah, we'll see how the other people play this hand. Looks like Alex is the closest to Tempai here. Yishanten? No, not Yishanten yet, but it has wide shapes. Potential Tanyao.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that was probably the last one. I think we may see Aaron unfortunately locked out after this.
Yep. I guess there's some solace that it was going to be hard for Aaron to make it, but it would have been.
Well, yeah, it's sad to lose your last chance like this.
Yeah.
I think you'll just look at the next hand's hi-fi, and if it wasn't great, you won't feel bad about this at all.
Okay.
But it does drastically change the rest of the table, because now you have a very, barring something strange happening, that is probably who will end up 4th. So you may even, not intentionally, but effectively work with the rest of the table to make sure everyone at this table gets a good result.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think this right now, that point situation is probably ideal for almost everyone. Haru is right now in first place that they needed in order to get the promotion slot.
Yeah, we would like to get into second place.
Yeah,
He's
30K.
probably the only Ennui's the only person that would be concerned with this.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can stay 30K, above 30K here. With this hand, it's possible. Still has some controns to fill in. in order to make the hand good. Meanwhile, man, Alex's hand looks really good, but it's still not Yishanten. Okay, now calls for Yishanten.
Yeah, Tanya is perfectly fine. Alex just wants these hands to pass. Has no incentive to go big for anything. Honestly, even a fourth would be perfectly fine with Alex, as long as it's not a big one.
Right. Want to pass the dealership around. Was wondering what Tucker was thinking here. 4 pairs, but it's already second row.
Toy is the shortcut to no 10.
Yeah. Okay.
And now because rejected the G-Toy instead of going for normal hand, now it's looking like a callable Tempai hand. But the first is across the way, and that 7 is very dangerous here. But it would be a cheap hand that is a Richinomi. Does have a bit of extra foo because of the Peonko.
Nothing safe here.
Yeah, I don't mind this dealing that much. You're just, as long as you don't feel that bad about it. I guarantee you you have your heart just sink, road, and you're just dying. 1600. Please no, oh, thank God.
Exactly. I mean, one of the worst feelings is losing to a Sumogiri bot. So, okay,
You guys a great starting hand and is back. So apparently, no, I think that was just
the Tenho interface.
change. Yeah, and that's unfortunate because that's a pretty good starting hand. That's the type of hand that you would have wanted. Yep. This is really tragic. No one wants the season to end like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Anhui drawing into filling in their Kanchan. I'm glad I was eyeing Anhui's hands because they're the only person that actually needs to win hands in order to feel comfortable.
Sean 10 looking for that Tanya.
Yeah, that's we want to see.
Oh wait, that is not Ishan. That is a 2. Now it's Ishan. I thought that was a 3, not a 2, but just draw the 3 and that'll fix the issue. Ooh, that's a very big extension. Instead keeps that 5 pin Kanchan. Ew. Well, you just cut the 6 now.
Well, they did cut the 1 pin earlier. I wonder if they're regretting their decision.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this does guarantee Tanya. Makes it so you can actually call this hand.
About a 5 Kanchan weight when you have a Sumogiri bot.
I guess it becomes better, right?
Well, yeah, it does because you get 2 draws, and the 5 wasn't held back. It's just really unfortunate, and we can't possibly know this, but Aaron's Sumogiri bot hand was Delta 5.
Right. It's as if it was like the dead wall's extended. Okay, but they're still not able to hit Tempai, and everyone's making some headway with their hands. Alex, Yishanten.
I don't know why you're even hesitating on the door. It's like, yeah, it's Dora, but it's safe from everyone.
Yeah.
I think that was Anhui's natural defensive instincts saying, maybe I should keep a safe tile. Wait, against the Sumogiri bot? That's dumb.
Okay, now Haru throwing the 6-0 out here. I guess locking in Chitoy.
And another one. Look at Anhui's discards. That's disgusting.
Right.
Tempai across the way, waiting on. I don't think he even necessarily reaches this. I think he's Dama.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it takes the Champone with 2 outs left. Yeah, I don't like this at all. It takes this weight because of the potential for a 10, but I just Dama. I'm not worried about 4th here.
Yeah, it's not like the dealership's gonna continue in this hand. So you're not ending anyone's.
And
Okay, here it is.
Ennui, oh no, won't push the 3. Would have had a 3-sided weight here, and just decides to try and fold, but now is punished hard for it. And well, Dama waiting on 6 mon, 5 so.
Okay, but if they do maintain tempi here, they will overtake Aaron for fourth place, which is still a good result.
It's the Dama, and that
Oh,
will
perfect.
win
Oh,
for
is that better?
1,500. Gets into tied for
Still?
second. Well, no, tied for
Still fourth.
last.
Not even. Doesn't even get to fourth yet. Like it was better. It was potentially better if there was no reach, just to just get to Ryogoku, because it would also knock Aaron down.
Instead, it wins on the Nakasuju. That's the reason the 5 so came out. Yeah, so Haru here has maybe a Chanta shift, and that just turned Pinfu hand on the right. We see a whole bunch of pairs. That feels like Chitoi, maybe Honitsu or Chinitsu. Across the way, Anwi has a Dora, maybe a Peiko, maybe a Rion Peiko. That's what I want to see, a Rion Peiko out of this.
That's one way to get out of a crux.
I had something come up, so I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, it looks like. Okay, so Aaron's still yeah, unfortunately disconnected. We see Haru now having good shapes. He's fill in the 3-pin Contron, but has 5 blocks technically already. So just looking for probably just a standard hand here. We have Alex. Also, looks quite far away. I could look for Honitsu, but probably doesn't have enough blocks to support it. And so yeah, Anui's hand at now Ishan 10 for Yampeko action might happen here. Wow. You might okay. Can throw the 7-pin out here for the widest Ishan 10. And you still get the Rampeko Ishan 10 like potential here, just a little bit less on the Chitoi. I like this a lot. We're going to basically see how many 3-sos are left. Still 3 in the wall, and still 6 mons on the wall. So actually looking quite possible. Okay, there's one. Oh, and the 7-pin backfire. But I still think this is still the best path forward in order to, you don't actually need that many points here as Tucker. They just need to ideally get out of fourth and also get to 30k. Oh wow. Okay, reach for Haru. Did not notice his hand, but his 8 mon only. 2 left in the wall. No value, but they're a dealer. Okay. Here's the 6-9 weight with 4 left. Oh, that they can see. 3 left in the wall. So 2 versus 3. For this value, it is waiting on Genbutsu on Haru. Oh, there it is. Very nice.
Oh, and draws the
Sumo.
expensive hand with the
Yeah.
Ipeiko Tanyao. Aura for Hanemon.
There we go.
Wow, that's first place.
Amazing. Who needs the Rampeko? That was definitely the hand that they wanted. Now in first place.
In trouble now because this would be enough to stay above 0, but likely not enough to promote, taking the bulk of that hit, minus 6,000, and dropping to second place.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate. Just she needs to make sure the point doesn't get over 30k as well. Here, otherwise the Uma
think that matters much because you're +5 either way.
It doesn't shift for second place.
No, it doesn't shift for second.
I see.
It would be first place only gets 15 as opposed to 20. And no, so With 3 versus 2, it's 15-5 as opposed to 15-5-0. So 15-5 minus 5 versus 15-5-0.
I see. Okay, well, we have a reach already from Alex dealership with
With
2
2
Dora.
Dora,
Yeah.
2 outs left, so
Oh,
that's
no.
a great bait.
Yeah. No, like really hard to fold against this hand. Oh, might come out here.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, that's so painful.
That's bad.
Yeah. Oh no. Wow, they
Haru
were
is
in such a
now
comfortable first place, and now in two
2
hands
hands just like
instantly.
that is now needs to be worried about dropping to 4th and maybe even potentially demoting.
Oh
But
no.
unless there's a big win here, but that is not a comeback hand.
Well, it is Chanta
Unless you're going,
Yakuhai
yeah,
Sanshoku potential. So 3 Han,
yeah, but that's not 30K,
39.
and
Yeah,
you
39.
really need to get a plus 10 here, so you'd need 2nd place.
Oh, it's so
Wow,
close.
great draw for dealer here. It's hard. You can't get the Sanshoku and the Tempai here, but if you get the Richi Pinfu, I guess that'd be good enough. And you see the temptation to just call the 7 mod, especially with 2 of them out,
Yes, it does.
and says, you know what, let's just go for it.
Yeah, they're in a comfortable place right now.
Chi.
Hey,
Okay,
now
here
you
it
just
is.
have a very
Now you're-
flexible Tonki. And obviously, what you want to do is switch to Dora.
Technically,
1
it's
mon's a good
sushi
wait.
trap.
And we'll wait on that 1 mon. In the meantime, we have Ishan on the left. Now you have a 2-sided wait. You just cut the 1. The 3 or 6 is very likely to come out from Ennui, and it does. This will be 1800. And this also feels like the 789 Sansuku.
Yeah, another couple hand. But look at Haru's hand. A lot of. It definitely has the potential of getting over.
Tanyao, Chinitsu. Well, okay, now it's just Chinitsu. Forget anything else.
Yeah, 8. That is enough to.
Okay, now
Get
it's
second.
Honitsu. That's kind of sad.
Okay,
You need
Honitsu.
more value here. This is kind of tragic.
Is possible Toy.
That'd be a stretch. I think
Just need
you
to
even
throw
pass on
more.
the first Haku with this hand.
Yeah, they
You
need a
want to
Mongon
take close
basically.
so
At
badly.
least a Mongon.
Yeah, and winning 3 Han. I mean, yes, if you get the extra foo from the Sumo be 52, they give you a positive score, but that's not likely to be enough to promote, even with the 10 or 11 spots, unless one of them drops. Now that's a great draw. Now Ishan 10. Pretty wide Ishan 10, too.
Yeah. Interesting. If you get the closed Honitsu, the Yaku, like if you have the 8, you just Dama the 8, you probably just have to reach it.
Now
Huh?
you throw the stick in. Yeah, I'm not messing. But again, anytime you have a Sumagiri bot, the incentives to Dama plummet.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
And Alex is like, you know what? I have no interest in continuing this game. I am fine. Even if there is a sumo on my dealer turn, I drop and take a -6, and I'm still perfectly fine. And there you go, Tempai. At least I think
Okay.
it is. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
6-0.
That is
6 pin only, I think. Oh no, not even. Oh,
no,
you're
not
right.
even.
Not even. Never mind. Well, what can we call
you could
this?
call that, but I wouldn't.
And then throw Haku potentially.
Yeah, it'd be your
Yeah,
only
I think
play.
that
I
would.
don't like it.
I think that's okay. It's really wide because you have the 7-8-8-8-8 shape, and then the 4-5 Yamen.
Well, I
So
guess you might call it just because you're wondering where the Haku are, and there's a decent chance one locked up in the Sumagiri hand.
yeah. Because this is still Ishan Den, so you basically just if you called the 5 pin, it just widens the Ishan.
There you go. That's why.
Richi.
Ooh, now even potentially Sananko.
Okay, this is definitely
This could
enough.
be a monster hand. Oh, Ipatsu! Riichi Ipatsu, Honitsu, Haku. That is a Hanemon. And that is first place, I
place.
believe.
Yes. Wow, what a comeback.
Just barely. And Haru, by virtue of that Ricci, is likely heading to A2. An amazing end and capitalizing on the Sumagiri, but unfortunate for Aaron the whole time. Just it's so sad to see it end like that for him, but it was in a really tough position and would have needed some monster hands anyway. But the big story here is Haru gets that first place off a huge comeback, has a big lead most of the game, loses it in two hands, and then comes back with that Hanemon on the Ipatsu for the last turn and just barely edges out Onwe, who is perfectly fine with a plus 12.7 and is likely promoting. Alex is perfectly fine with a positive third and is almost certainly promoting.
Yeah, this
And
is amazing.
congratulations.
Yeah, so Haru still has to watch the results of the other games. Peter, Philip, even Garrick, they still have two of them have 4 games left to play. Philip has 2 games left to play. So it's not out of the woods yet, but that was an amazing comeback. This
Yeah,
definitely
that
gives them
was
chances.
huge. And
Yes.
we're going to jump over to the A1 game as soon as our graphics are set. Thank you, Jeremy, for running this stuff behind the scenes.
Okay, so now we're looking at A1. This A1 match. A lot of these players that we're going to be watching
The
are
A1 match, they've already played one game. They're already somewhat into the second game. That series of games we had at B1 ran an hour 40. Now, admittedly,
wow.
it didn't start quite on time, but wow. And we can see from here, Simon had a good result. Eric had a decent result. Nathaniel took a hit, and Huang took a hit as well. And honestly, if you look at this, Huang is probably demoted at this point. The big fight here right now is between Nathaniel, Eric, Jeremy, and even I got pulled into that scrum.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but yeah, Nathaniel taking a bigger hit in the first game means that
Boom.
he'll probably have to climb up a little. It'll be a lot harder to climb out, but we've seen some already exciting games today, so I'm expecting more
Chi.
here.
This is Nathaniel as dealer here, calls for a 567 Otozuke Sanshoku.
Interesting. This cheapens the hand quite a bit as a dealer.
And
Oh,
this
and
is the problem.
immediately.
Yeah, I don't like that call for that exact reason.
The hand.
Okay, so the point here was the call for Tempai was to shut down the Dora 3 hand on your dealer turn. I can see why it was done. But
Yeah.
needing a 5 is such a rough situation. If you needed the 8, I'd feel a lot better about that call. But meanwhile, on the right, we have it's still Ishan 10, but a Dora Pone. So I think that's the highlight of anything that happens. Across the way, feels like kind of folding, hedging your bets against that expensive hand. Maybe you turn it into a Ipeco. It is Ishan 10 for the Ipeco, needing a 2-pin and a 7-mon. And on the left, kind of doing the same thing. Everyone's trying to dodge the big hand and basically leaving it to dealer to fight, which is why the call was made.
Yeah, it makes sense for everyone else. It's this
Chi.
8,000
That
points is
fork
not
still
something.
looked very dangerous. Is pushed and is called an AF Tempai on 5-8 pin. And I think that will just cause Eric and Simon to nope out of this hand.
Yeah, I believe so. 8 save can still keep the Ishan 10. Decides against it.
Sumo.
Yeah.
Nine
Oh,
more.
there it is. There's the sumo. Tone Dora
Yeah.
3, and that is not how Nathaniel wanted this game to start off.
Yeah. That's one of the downsides of having a worse weight. That you're also giving the tile to the person with the open hand.
Right. There's an argument to just hold that tile, especially being stuck 4-10, and basically saying, you know what, I'm going to fold. If you're Tempai, you're going to draw it yourself. If you're Ishan, you're going to draw both of them yourself. But I could certainly see pushing. Just really unfortunate in that Sanshku. We have Huang as dealer here, has a few pairs. The shapes are terrible, though. You have the overlap of the 3-pin, you need a 7-mon, and you have pairs all sorts of places. We have a disconnect. We are going to
Just
see a
kind of-
refresh. Oh, yeah, we did. Okay, so yeah, dealer's hand is looking a little bit better, but still kind of awkward. On the right, that is a Chitoi that isn't going anywhere. Across the way, that is a Tempai for Hakunomi, but if you can pull like that, you take Tempai for Mangan. Waiting on 6-7, so there is only 1-7 so left in the wall, though. All these other tiles are being used. The problem is for Simon was thinking Chitoi, and if you sell on that Chitoi, that 6-7 will come out.
That's right.
Speaking of improvements, dealers now Ishan for Itsu.
Chi.
Could Chi
Wow.
here for Tempai and will.
Yeah, I like this since the Formon was holding
Oh, there's the
tile back.
4, and that'll deal in. I don't see how you
Don't.
don't just deal that in. 2,000. It is the direct competition, but Eric, at least for now, has a buffer on Nathaniel. And those are the two that we're really looking at for most of this match. Huang is in an even worse position than Aaron was in the B1 games. Just needs a monstrous run. Admittedly, this is the second game of 4 for this series, and Simon just trying to stay above the fray. But Simon has a starting end here, which is not great. Maybe it draws into 1-2-3 Sunshu. You have floating Dora. The shapes are terrible, though. On the right, we see 3 pairs, a Penchon. Really want a Dora or maybe a 3-mon to make the hand better. Could even call for Tanya, and that's going to be the way the hand is played. But you're going to have Otozuki on the 7-8 mon, and potentially Otozuki needing the Dora on the 7-8-8 pin shape. Across the way, that looks like a 3-4-5 Sanshuku with Tanya shift. On the left, we see 2 Dora. I think that's also a Tanya type player. You're going to see a lot of Otozuki in this hand.
Yeah, Ishan Tana ready for Nathaniel across the way. For Pink Food Tanyo.
Chi.
And we see 2 quick calls.
Then that 6-0 in dealer's hand just like looks destined to come out. And does, and that's a nice little 1 Han bop. And we move to South round. Bunch of cheap hands. And that's something you'll see in A1, is you'll see it in very low-level play and very high-level play. In low-level play, it's because people have problems building hands, and in especially A1 type games, you'll often see the type of manic calling insanity, because everyone knows how to build hands, you don't want to let them.
Yeah, that's true. And also, right now, Simon and Eric don't have incentives to win big hands. They just want to end Hanchan as much as possible. Shut down the big hands, as you're saying.
Yeah, Eric doesn't want anything funny to happen. Honestly, if Huang wins, this is fine for Eric. Eric knows his win condition to just stay in the league is stay above Nathaniel. That's all Eric has to do here.
Yep.
And vice versa for Nathaniel. All Nathaniel has to do is stay above Eric. It feels very likely, especially with Jeremy having won his 2 first matches in the other demotion series in A1. It feels like one of Eric or Nathaniel will go down.
Yeah, and here's
Yeet.
Tempai for Nathaniel. 7 so only.
Ricci
One left in the
Dora
wall.
waiting on the 7 so, and yeah, only 1 left.
But this will probably shut down any activity from anyone here. Eric has 3
could
safe.
own and cut the Suji 7. That trap is actually kind of bad.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Huang is definitely the type of person who would push this.
I mean, the 2 cells are quite much safer here, but I guess if they hit Tempai. Oh, looks like they're just pushing out everything. So
Yeah, well, that's more. Huang is known for very aggressive, borderline reckless play.
yeah.
Okay, and it was
then
enough to win A1 last season, and from the current standings, looks as though that luck was balanced out.
So what can we do here? 3-pin, 4-pin or save. Yeah. Imagine full folding here.
Because when you're playing very aggressively, you
Oh.
will sometimes do very well and sometimes do very poorly. We see this in other divisions with all players. Every division has players like that who just have these wild swings all over the place. And if your goal is to win A1, it is a very good way to do so. And as you mentioned, Huang won last season.
Oh. Well, now we see all the 7-stos are in people's hands now. Huang drawing the last 7-so in the wall.
For Tempai here, cutting the 3, I probably would. Even without a Yako, I'm not that worried about it. 3 looks safe enough. And you're getting to that point where your shapes aren't going to fill. So I think it's something you should be considering here.
Potentially
And
they're
that
looking
is
for
a
the
double one
Sulanko.
chance on that too. That I don't think you're doing that on turn 14.
Well,
Like, it's
he hasn't done
possible,
that.
but
Huang is way down in the depths of
that's
the
true.
Virginia Miracle. But yeah, you're right. I'm not holding my horses for that. Oh well, yeah. Even with this draw.
Okay, that seems to be the play. I think we'd have to draw the very specific tiles
I
on
don't even
all
know if you
three
have
of
enough
them.
tiles here.
Let's see. 1, 2. No, you don't.
Not enough tiles. But it was a good attempt, I think, given their position. Okay. And everyone able to bail nice and smoothly. I mean, this is a 30 or 40k or 4k swing for between Nathaniel and Eric. It's not insignificant. Oh, just kidding. Wow, actually hits Tempai on the last draw. So now it's only a 3k swing between Eric and Nathaniel.
Well, we start with Nathaniel's dealer turn. So he has last one this game. And just throws the Hatsu out now, looking for that 79 Sanshku. It would require some shifting to do so. We also have awkward pairs not really thrilled with, especially that 9 mon draw is just ugly for this hand. On the right, we have a Dora Penchon and decent shapes elsewhere, but not much. That 3 helps immensely, though. And all of a sudden, Huang's hand looks decent. Across the way, that looks like maybe a distant Itsu in So. Just go Honitsu with that. I don't know how you play that. There are all sorts of options, depends what you draw. And on the left, it feels like a shift maybe towards a 1-2-3 Sanshuku. The hand, again, just looks bad. You draw this. Oh, now it's definitely 1-2-3 Sanshuku. I'm more or less locking in at this point.
Okay, Chitoi Ishan 10 for Nathaniel. It's not like the 8-mon was doing
Yeah,
much.
that is not the draw you wanted. Like, Chitoi, not again.
Oh yeah, well, now you're just basically praying to the Mahjong gods.
Yes. Well, when your first and third discard are a pair, you're like, yeah, that feels like Chitoi, all right.
I think he does have some time. Only gimmick is close to Tempai here.
No, you do
And-
not call in that 3 mon. You have the Apeiko. That is a very white Ishan 10 for Huang. Yeah, easy.
Oh, there it is.
Ricci on the door. Ricci, Pinfu, Ipeiko, Tanyao, Mungon on 4 or 7. So the problem is there are a bunch of them are locked up in dealer's hand, and going Chitoi, they're never ever coming out. But there's only 1 in another hand, so actually 3 in the wall, which for a 4-7 weight is not particularly bad. And it sounds like I could push Dora, but this just sounds like something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Good with 1, but you have to figure the dealer has an incentive to push here. And just as I say, that dealer says nope.
Yeah, at the time of the discard, they had no idea whether or not the dealer was pushing or not. So
Right, and the East here would be a live Yakuhai. It is certainly understandable that someone would be sitting on it.
That was pretty
And
tense for
pushing
everyone
from
else.
Chitoi Ishan is just so ugly, even as dealer.
Just the 1
Because
mon.
you know you're guaranteed to have the worst weight, even if you do get to showdown.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe Kumawashi
Oh,
into
yeah, and now you would be in Tempai. And yeah, it's going to at least keep the options open once that East Tonki wait.
Yeah, it was Suji, but after this it's like really hard. If you draw another East, I mean, it's not like any of the other tiles are safe, so.
The 9 months, one chance, I guess. 7 months, one chance. You have 3 5s and 3 8s. Now that 3 so in their hand, I don't think ever comes out.
Oh, this is tough. I think, yeah, Naimon. I don't know.
You can
I
tell wants to push this so badly.
I really don't like these kind of hands.
I don't mind. I feel though, if you're gonna throw the East, you should have thrown it a while ago. Ooh, that 6 is terrible. Yeah, the 6 is a bridge too far for Nathaniel, and I don't mind this one at all.
Okay, anyone keeping Tempai? Nope, just
Your 2 East come out from Huang, and I guarantee you. Why couldn't you have drawn that 3 turns ago so I didn't have to have a heart attack throwing it?
last 7, so still
It is the
1 4
last
still
7,
left.
1 4 so. Yep.
Okay, who is the last draw? I think
Yeah, 8
Huang does
Suji.
have the high
Huang,
K
yep. Could
tile.
cheat. The problem is, do you have anything that's safe here?
Oh yeah, the 9 pin that you cleared up.
Yep, I like that play.
Very good. All right. So no difference
Huang
between
extends
Nathaniel and
the
Eric.
lead, but similarly to Aaron, just first place is not good enough for Huang.
Yeah,
Needs to
even
at minimum get to around minus 160 overall and drag presumably Nathaniel down and running out of games to do so. But has dealer turn and a good starting hand here. If they Ricci, potentially Dora 2, maybe Nipeko, maybe a Sanshuku, all sorts of options.
7
Simon calling.
And on the right, we have the Onko of Hatsu. So just looking for a quick wash away hand, be done with this.
It seems like it's going to be the quickest hand here.
Tempai for dealer, but a really ugly one. Could cut the 3 so and kind of split the difference here. But will Ricci on the Dora. And if you're Simon, like, what do? You're in 4th place already. Your hand is garbage. Nothing safe. You have no information. Says, you know what? I'm going to push. Takes the widest East Shunton here. Oh, bit unfortunate that 3. Drawing
Yeah,
the
would have
2.
been.
Like I say, I
true.
would have thrown the 3 so last turn and would have drawn the 2, so it wouldn't have helped me either. Oh,
Okay, Tempai
Tempai on
here.
the right. Could throw the 5 and wait on the 6, or could throw the 7 and wait on the 4-5. Or could just fold. Yeah, throws the 7 waiting on the 4-5. And now the 4 is Nakasuji, so could come out across the way from Eric here. But Eric will throw tiles that look significantly safer against both first. Yeah, you do not con this. No way.
Oh,
Could see an upgrade on the shape, but that'd be 4 10.
No.
So I think you just throw it back.
Yeah.
It's an ugly tile to draw, though.
Yeah,
now if Eric had any questions, there's like, no, I'm full against 2 people. You have to remember Erickson said, I don't want to be 4th either. But although the goal is stay ahead of Nathaniel, if Nathaniel gets a 2nd place at around ±0 and Eric takes a -30, then all of a sudden they're very close again.
That's true. But yeah, I think dealing in is probably the worst thing to happen here. I don't really want dealer to dealer. But Nathaniel's still able to maintain Ishanten after all this. I don't know if they'll be able to push the 8 pin, but if they get to Tempai now. And the Chun is also not looking so hot. Yeah, so decides to fold here. And, well, Eric was able to actually get Tempai here.
Yeah, the Hellweight Chun. And we see that it is in Nathaniel's hand.
7, so Sushi comes out. I think I like the 3 pin first, because 3 pin is safe. Okay. And there's 3 Ricci sticks in the pool. So it's not just a 1,000 point hand here for Eric. This
Oh,
would
that
put
5
them
looks
above.
bad. Yeah, Eric says forget this. Would have loved to have gotten the Tempai there, but not willing to push a 5-pin into that pond, especially given how many So tiles have been pushed already.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
But there's the Sumo on the
wow.
very last draw. Ricci Sumo. No Aura, but gets all the sticks. And 6,600, and Huang is above 46,000 now in East 3 and looking to get the, in addition, the plus 20 Uma bonus. But again, that's not going to be enough. Huang needs to continue rolling here to have even an outside chance going into the next 3 games. But if anyone's capable of doing it, it is Huang, who even against the top table in A1 last season rolled over them and won the league championship with the first 3 games of like plus 160.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Definitely is can't count them out then. Definitely can build hands here, and they have a good starting hand here. Not much
Yeet.
value, just 1 Dora, but good shapes. But
Well, I
Nathaniel
think the
beats
value
into
may
it.
be on the left with the Ricci Pinfu Dora waiting on 1-4 for
Yeah, what a
Nathaniel.
great
And this
wage
is
here.
this is the worst thing that could happen to Eric, is if Nathaniel ends up winning this hand.
Yeah, wow, 5 still comes out straight from Simon. I mean, nothing safe, so it keeps the widest each on 10.
4 has 5 left in the wall. We see 2 1-mons in Simon's hand, and they may come out just because there aren't any better options.
Yeah, there's 0 information right now.
Yeah, he's just straight
Just-
pushing. Doesn't care. Throwing the 5
Alright,
bond, which looks
Tempai here.
way worse to me.
Okay.
But
Eric had a chance to keep Tempai. Or no, just kidding. It was just each on 10. I misread the Sozu. Oh my
Tempai
god.
3-sided wait for Simon on the 3-6-9 for Ricci Pinfudora of his own.
Oh my god. Well, now Eric is happy to see this.
Sumo.
Just like,
And
deal it, please.
Sumo,
Oh,
Ricci, Sumo, Pinfudora. Now, interestingly, that Ricci stick, it is 8,100 no Aura, puts Nathaniel in a solid positive second place. But because of that Ricci stick, Simon is now in last place. Moving into all last, and that is not a winning hand. That is about as terrible a starting hand as you are going to get. Yeah.
Can't even think of Chitoy. Yeah.
Yeah. On the right, I guess there's a Tanyao hand here. You may just try and limit your damage. The rest of the shapes look pretty bad, but you could call across the way. That's also kind of a bad hand. But if you draw maybe 3 Mon or 2 Mon, you at least get a door. They have a Hawk Chun pair, so you just call and go, except you're
Yeet.
relatively minor second, especially trying to lock down 4th place. And on the left, we have Ricci, Ipeco, Dora 2 waiting on 7. So
You mean Dora 4?
Dora. Oh, I
That's
misread that. Oh, that's not Ipeco at all. Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
expected it to be Ipeco.
Yeah, it looks like it. All the lower Monsu.
Oh,
And-
my goodness. Ricci Dora 4.
Yeah, Sumo Hanimon here, and okay, this is what they need. This is the last hand of the if they win this,
Oh, it's
so it's still probably still not looking great for them, even if they win this hand, like in terms of the overall standings.
There's
But
plus 50. Even if it's a direct hit off Nathaniel and get the extra Uma, then you're talking, what, plus 50 overall? Plus 40? Yeah, just plus 40,
yeah,
which would get you to minus 260 roughly. So you're going to need more than that.
but I mean, it is a good start because you don't have any more hands left after this, anyways.
Nah. And
Unfortunately,
Nathaniel's like, I don't want anything to do with this. Honestly, no one here wants anything to do with it. Dealer may be forced into it, though.
Yeah, well, looks like
And
for
similarly, Eric may be forced into it. Is now Ishanten for Richinomi. Of course, from the New York City club as well. So
okay, and better shapes here too. So no,
yeah, you do have that
I'd-
ugly Shampon, though. You'd really like to upgrade this to Itsu before you push something, but you're out of safe dodge. You got to throw that 3-pit either way. You're gonna have to throw that 5. So if you want to go for that upgrade, just kind of ugly all over.
Oh.
Well, Now you could even throw the 8
Oh,
so
it's
if you want it.
Suji. Okay.
Okay, just
Good.
mostly folding still. That's very, very much what I'd expect from Eric. Figuring third is not good, but as long as my main competition only gets second, it hurts me a little bit, but it's not devastating.
I mean, it still might come out here. It's Suji and 3-9 sold out.
And the big problem
Nothing
is
else
just
is
running out
safe.
of tiles. That 5,
Okay,
that 5
that's
is enough to
saved.
say, yeah,
Yeah, that's saved
Eric
Eric for
should be
sure.
100% safe here
Whew.
now.
And now Nathaniel might be actually in trouble. Actually,
Push
I think
the
the
8
ape.
so here. I don't like that play at all. I'm pushing the 8 so here and go for the Sononko.
You really want your Valiant, huh? On Southport. I guess.
Oh, wait, that's Simon. Sorry, my mistake. I'd still push the 8 so.
Yeah, it's I guess it's Suji here. With 3-9 sold out, but okay. Let's see.
The
Yeah,
3
Amon.
save, yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone has enough save tiles. Except for Simon.
There is a Kabe of Formon, and you throw in the 8, so the 5 should be reasonably safe for Eric. Instead, just throws the 4 back.
Yeah.
I
And
think
he
the
still
5
has
is a lot
the
safer.
5, so.
I may be one where I don't think all the 4s were counted.
One chance tune.
Chi.
Yeah, there's the 5. And we'll see a Chi looking for a Tempai shift later, but needs 2 draws to do it and has 2 draws. Well,
Okay,
that's one of the
that's one.
tiles you needed.
Okay, well, can't get to Tempai here, so just throw the safest tile.
Chi.
Which is that 8. And now Eric says, well,
Oh.
maybe, and gives the high
Well,
chain draw to Huang. Ooh, oh, no.
Okay.
We don't see the occult coming here. Huang will get the 2,000 from the end results. And we'll end up with, that's misleading because he doesn't get that less reach stick, 30.2, I believe. Nathaniel with 8.4, Eric with a minus 14.3, and Simon with a minus 25.3. So Simon will come back down below 0, I believe, after this game.
Okay.
And the important thing is between Nathaniel and Eric in this hand. And now we have our updated standing. Simon is at minus 2.4, Eric at minus 74.6, Nathaniel at minus 119.8. So Nathaniel improves his position somewhat significantly, closing the gap by 22.7 points this game, but still a bit behind with 2 hands to go. I will say the best news probably, though, comes to me and Jeremy, who all of a sudden have a lot more buffer space than we thought we had.
Yeah.
But that is no guarantee of anything going into the last couple of games.
Yep, that is true. It's still 2 hands left. I mean, Hanchons you can get, up to plus. We saw a huge
No, we've seen
plus 50
minus 80
yesterday.
plus 110s. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can definitely
So,
get some big swings.
yeah.
But that is basically going to be the end of it here. So we'll take a quick look at the A1 standings. And of course, you look at these and you go, first place and second place haven't really been like dominant. Like their scores are good, but it's not like people are dominating. Especially Steve at a 7.346. That's a 50% rent-eye rate, just barely better than average in terms of placement. And is sitting at plus 158.4. It's a lot about how much you win as opposed to whether you win. That's something you always have to adjust to with ladder. It's something I'm terrible at adjusting to myself. But between the players here, we have Eric, who's just been playing pretty solidly both seasons up until now, but just isn't winning hands with a sub 17% win rate is just not going to do it. May be able to hold on to his position in A1, but is fighting for his life.
Yeah, it's still really close. It's like 45.2 between the demotion spot and I guess the cutoff for the demotion spot. Tune in next time to see what happens between in promotions in A1. And I mean the promotions for A. Everyone's quite
It's
close. It's
just the
still clear winning.
champion. Yeah. Minko, Steve, Kenyon, Vincent, Bishan, Amy all have decent shots. Max has an outside shot. Would need to get super hot. But yeah, we are hearing that there is likely the other A1 table, which is mine, will be Monday or Tuesday next week. We just need to get that mashed out. And that game would likely get cast, but now we'll take a look at the overall standings. As mentioned in A1, those are the people that are basically playing for the championship. I think Lewis is probably out of it at this point, but with a monstrous tear like we saw from Huang last season, that would be enough to come back. In A2, these are all people getting promoted. The rest of the screen are people who are in promotion positions. The only one really that's in any question is Andres in B1, but with how many promotion spots there are, is pretty locked into promotion as well. So if you see your name on this list, you're feeling pretty good.
Yep. And we see 2 people in A2 looks like I think they're locked in. They're guaranteed to promote to A1. That's Elon and Kevin. So congrats to them for finishing their games and making it out.
Yeah, what do you think of that Anthony person?
I don't know. Seems like he's just barely holding on here for games.
Seems like he's very good at getting second.
Yeah, I think there are some that were supposed to be first and then got to second, and then probably some that I was able to squeeze out. But yeah, I'm happy with or they must be happy with hopefully just holding on. I usually say for my spot in particular, I'm facing people that are a little below like me on the standings, and they're more tight, and I just basically have to coast. That's all. So yeah, we've seen these kind of gameplay with the 2 games that we've played or we just watched today. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this exciting season finale.
Yeah, and especially you get towards the end of the season, the same thing as in a tournament, but with a league setting, you have generally a lot more information about what is my win condition. You see so much of people playing to that, and that oftentimes is the way to promote or demote. In a tournament, it's just everyone plays at the same time. You very rarely have information unless someone blabs about it, which is actually against the rules. So you just basically have a vague idea of what it is going in. For a league game, you generally know where you are, especially if you play last. But as I said, anyone on this list is in a very good position to promote or in a one stay. But we should see a bunch more games. This is the best time of the season, unless you're on the cut line either way, in which case you're sweating like mad.
Yes, of course.
So I don't have any other closing thoughts. Anything you have?
Well, I was glad to cast with you, and glad I was able to be on here once again.
All right, then. Well, this is when I do the obligatory plug. So check out our YouTube, tinyurl.com/ARMLYT, the website at AmericanReach.org. You can sign up for next season. You only have a couple days left to get out there. Follow us on Twitter, hit follow on Twitch, any of that good stuff. So for Anthony, this is Korak for the American Ricci Mahjong League signing off. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night.